Hello, my theme for today is the little extra. How much does that cost you? And the reason why I want to talk about that is because I feel that God has been asking me lately to do the little extra, to um, to go the extra mile, especially when it doesn't seem fair. And that is so hard. It's like, because I think we have this need to be right, the need that everything has to be fair, and that is so strong. And it can be positive. For me, I am a Brazilian and I live here in Norway, and I think it's really good that women's rights are taken seriously here and that we are treated more like equals. But when it comes to relationships, I feel that there is such a pressure that everything has to be equally divided that many times people are not willing to do the extra things, like the little extra. And if you think about in the beginning of your marriage, right? That your husband comes home very tired and you say, "Oh, it's okay, honey, I can take the dishes for you today. You've had such a bad day." And then some years go, and then it's more like, "What? Me do the dishes? But it's your turn. I did the dishes yesterday. Haven't we agreed on this?" And I think we need just some more grace in our everyday life. At least I need that. And grace is undeserved favor. Imagine a world where we only got what we deserved. I don't think that would be very nice. So good to get something that you didn't really work for sometimes. And sometimes people think that is hard because they're not used to that. They want to work for something and then deserve it all the time. And then they get embarrassed when somebody does something just out of love or out of the blue for them. They don't know how to handle it. I think we need a bit more grace. And Darren Hardy says in his book, The Compound Effect, that he went to a seminar once and this guy was talking about personal responsibility. And then the speaker said, "What percentage of shared responsibility do you have in making a relationship work?" And then Darren was like, "Yeah, 50-50." And somebody else said 51-49 because, yeah, you should be doing a little extra to make it work. But then the speaker went up and wrote 100-0. And he said, "You have to be willing to give 100% with zero expectation of receiving anything in return. Only when you're willing to take 100% responsibility for making the relationship work will it work." And I think that's interesting because this is not a Christian book. This is a book about success. But it sounds a lot like Jesus when he says that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. And also when Jesus says in Matthew 5:41, he says, "Whoever forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2." And this is a reference to a practice in Roman times when Roman soldiers had the right to make a Jewish native carry their equipment for a whole mile. And that is a Roman mile was about 1.4 kilometers. And this equipment could weigh up to 45 kilos. So when Jesus said, "Go the second mile," it was about doing things that are not required. It was about unconditional love. And, and the truth is that human relations are not like mathematics. No matter how hard we try, it will never be 50-50. It will never be completely fair. So why not try to turn that into something positive? Doing little things that the other person didn't expect can bring a lot of joy to everyday life. So why not put a nice note on the bathroom mirror so your husband can see that before he goes to work? Or why not say to your wife, "I can get the kids today," and put them to bed in a day when it was her turn? And why not take an interest in your husband's or your boyfriend's hobby when for you it's like just a waste of time? But and also we can do the same for our kids. Imagine putting a note on your son's lunchbox. I love you. I hope you have a nice day today. Or just driving your teenage daughter to school one day when it's pouring down. Imagine what that would do to your relationship if you were willing to give a little extra, even when they don't deserve it. And sometimes the extra mile costs us a lot, but sometimes it costs us very little. But we still hang on to that idea that, yeah, but he doesn't deserve it, she doesn't deserve it. And then that doesn't make the relationship work very well. So, my conclusion is I struggle every single day with loving another person unconditionally. Loving my husband, my kids unconditionally. That is hard work. But there is one thing that I'm sure of. If I only focus on what's my part, on what's fair, completely fair, only on doing my 50% or only on my 1 mile, I'm going to live uh, a life that is so frustrating. I'll be annoyed all the time. I'll be angry and I'll be bitter. So, why not try Jesus' way for a change? So, my challenge for you today is do the little extra for someone. Have a nice day.